Yeah, hi Punit, welcome back. How are ya?
Yeah, good. How about you, man?
Yeah, good. It's a pretty fucked up situation. We're in a lockdown, second full lockdown in New South Wales. How you coping, dude?
Yeah, it is tough, I tell you. It's not easy. But working from home, so that's at least keeping me sane.
Hmm.
Not going crazy, just sitting on the couch.
How are you enjoying working from home versus in the office?
To be honest, I actually did like the office.
Yeah, it's
I do
better.
I do like the ability to not have to wake up so early.
Yeah,
But yeah, office has its moments. I do enjoy the office, occasionally.
you know.
There's perks to both, but I don't like being restricted. It feels kind of like a house arrest. You're just stuck at home, not being able to go out, do anything.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I was up at Narellan Town Centre the other week, and there's so many people walking around in the shops.
Yep.
It wasn't packed, but there was people still going to the shops.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, I went to get a shot,
Mm.
and there I saw, like, on the way, usually, it's always packed. The roads are always busy in the mornings, and I went yesterday, and just empty.
Empty.
Empty, absolutely empty. Just like nothing on the road, no one on the road. All the signals I'm hitting are green. It felt like someone had entered the green signal cheat code.
Shit.
Yeah.
Where was this at? MacArthur Square?
No, this was in Macquarie Fields.
Oh. Yeah, did you get the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca?
I got the Pfizer. I think at Macquarie Fields, I'm not sure. I think they're only giving out Pfizers now to the eligible people.
Did you
They're not giving out the AstraZeneca.
Did you go through Sonic Healthcare?
No, I don't actually remember, to be honest. I had made a reservation a while back.
They're fucking
And
useless.
they sent me an SMS saying that they've got an early date available for me, so I said, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. I was pissed off with Sonic Healthcare. I had my vaccine booked at Campbelltown Community Hall, and then they say, oh, we can't vaccinate you because you're from the Liverpool LGA area. You need to get a COVID test and get a negative result. I was fucking pissed off, man.
So you drove all the way down here, and then they just turned you away?
Yeah, because you remember the whole outbreak happened in Liverpool?
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's an outbreak in the Campbelltown LGA too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they really turned me away, so I just went to the GP and just got the AstraZeneca.
Fair enough.
And Sonic Healthcare takes them like 20 minutes just to get someone on the fucking phone, Punit.
Oh, yeah. No, it's honestly, I don't know what the hell's happening. I've seen, what's the word I'm looking for? I've seen lots of people, lots of my mates, just trying to get the Pfizer. And so initially, when I booked it, right, I had my dates in October, late October.
Oh, yeah.
And my brother, who's the youngest in the house,
Yeah.
He's already got his 2 doses. Like, we all registered at the same time, my parents, my grandparents, everybody.
Mm.
And, they were like, okay, first we're going to give it to the elderly, then we're going to give it to the, middle-aged people, then we're going to give it to the younger people, and then the youngest.
Mm.
My brother being the youngest, he's already got his 2 doses.
Mm.
And my parents have gotten one of their doses. And then I was just randomly called up to get my dose. But, otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten the dose. I wouldn't have, it would have just all been there for, nothing. And it feels a little mismanaged.
Oh, yeah. Sonic...
And there's, you're saying Sonic Healthcare. I have looked at, I think, NSW Health or something like that. And I know there's a few other ways people also have access to the vaccines, and it's just... It is not... What's the word I'm looking for? It is not centralized.
No, being in...
You could get a vaccine from your GP, right? And then you can have a booking for a Pfizer the next day and just go get that.
Yeah, I can't
now.
know the difference. Yeah, too late. But anyway, being a Royal Fire Service member, they can give the Pfizer to RFS members if you provide your ID card, but it's too late. I've already had my first shot. Fire Service, Punit.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
And, but you got to have an ID card.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to get my first shot, they did ask me for ID, Medicare, all that.
Mm.
So, yeah, that was also obviously there, but no, it wasn't like, oh, you must. I don't know. I mean, I know some people haven't provided all that, and they still got the shot. Some people are still scared. You know, they're like hesitant about getting the shot because they don't know what's in it. And I mean, look, I don't know what's in it, and I'm not gonna speak from a standpoint of a medical professional or anything.
Yeah.
But no, I come from a country, you know, like where, you know, polio was such a massive, awful thing.
Oh yeah.
And you know, like then the Indian government took the vaccinations and then, you know, all that, and it was mandatory. Like the polio people will come and basically it's not a shot. They give you 2 drops of polio in your mouth, and yeah, literally it was mandatory, and people would come to your house, and it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter if you're in the remotest part of India, and they basically eradicated polio in India like that, you know, compulsory. And I remember having the polio drops at least 3 or 4 times in my life. Because they'll just barge into your house. Well, not barge in, but, you know, knock on your door and be like, all right, well, we know you have a kid. And you can even be like, yeah, we're proactive. We've obviously given the vaccination. They'll be like, yeah, that's fine. If you get on a second dose, you know, it's not going to, like, do any harm. So they just give it to you. And I grew up watching people older than my grandfather suffering from polio. And, you know, when I was in my teens, I never saw one person who had polio. I'm not going to say that there's absolutely 0 cases, but it's almost 0. And in a country as big as India, the vaccination helped, you know, with polio. And, you know, there's been many other cases around the world, you know, about where vaccinations have helped. I don't know why we suddenly are hesitant to trust, you know. I mean, you get a heart attack, you go to a doctor. You get a failed liver, you go to a doctor. You don't know what medicine or drugs they're giving you. You trust them then. Like, I don't know why suddenly with COVID everybody is so hesitant.
Oh, look.
I don't get it. I mean, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinions. I just personally don't understand.
I was hesitant to get the jab myself because I didn't know how my body would cope with side effects.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I can totally understand that. And hell, I had a fever yesterday. I had a bit of a headache yesterday, and you know, I slept it off, and I feel good. And I mean, it's absolutely right. Look, I can understand, obviously being cautious for your own health, but if the alternative is permanent damage to your lungs, even if you do survive COVID, I hear that you can have permanent, you know, lung damage, scarring and stuff. Then I'm thinking, well, it's not like, what's the worst they're going to do in that? Like, you know, maybe the vaccine is less effective for you, or ineffective in your case, for example. Or you have a bit of a fever for a couple of days.
Look, when I had it,
fevers, you know?
I just felt a bit unwell, had a sore arm, slight muscle aches, tiny headache. That was it. I wasn't bedridden, but I just needed to rest.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I have yet to understand why people are hesitant about the vaccine. And I heard a rumor that's like someone said that they're putting microchips in your body.
That's bullshit.
And I'm thinking, how would that work? Like your kidneys and your liver and stuff would just filter it out. Like how would it continue to exist in your body? It's a chip. It's not a living organism that it can replicate like a virus, you know?
Exactly.
If your body attacks the virus, it kills it, but the virus is spreading, so it works. But a microchip is not a living thing. It cannot self-replicate. So your body will just kill it.
Well, here's the thing about 5G technology. I mean, there's a lot of these conspiracy theories on 5G. Are you on 5G?
What was that?
Are you on 5G or 4G?
I don't have 5G. I wish I did. I don't think it's in my area yet.
Not in my area, but people are saying that it has radiation and causes cancer and shit like that.
Oh, I don't know about that. Look, it's entirely possible, but so do your cell phones. Like, that's proven. If you keep them in your pockets all the time, if you keep them on you all the time, there's radiation coming from it, and it's bad for you. That is a fact. Now, there's also a fact. Like, you can be one of those people that are like, okay, I'm not going to have a cell phone, I'm not going to have this, I'm only going to have landlines, this, that. But guess what? You still live in a cell phone coverage area, which means you still have those, you know, waves going through you. Now, I don't know about the harmful effects, so I won't speak to the extent of the damage that they might cause you, or if any at all. I don't know. But let's for argument's sake say that they cause you some damage, right? And if they cause you damage, then the only way to escape is get out of the cities, go to like non-cell receptive areas, live there.
In the middle of Kakadu.
No internet, no internet, no landline, no other services that we're accustomed to, no television, no nothing. Only then will you not have these issues. And the issue, like what I'm actually finding all the time is people keep saying things like comfort. It's a question of comfort versus. Sorry, hang on. I'm having a lot of. Someone's vacuuming. I'm gonna move.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of weird conspiracy theories out there for everyone in the world. I've definitely heard about all these 5G technologies and all that stuff as well. I've never really understood 5G.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. Look, 5G is just a form of, in very simple terms, it's just a form of internet connectivity, basically. That's faster and more efficient than 4G. It has its drawbacks compared to 4G. But it's significantly faster, and if you had it, basically, there wouldn't be any lag in theory when you were connecting to the internet, watching a video, live streaming, or whatever else. There would be no lag. That is the theory. Now, people are talking about. I also heard a rumor, and someone actually posted graphs saying, here's where they've put 5G in, and here's where there's COVID outbreak. So 5G is causing COVID or whatever.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, and you can actually say that about a lot of things. It's like, wherever they put 5G, they're going to start with obviously the most urban populated areas. Right, because they want to start making money back as quickly as possible. So if you start with the dense population and start providing them for 5G quickly, you start recovering on your investment quickly. And the same thing happens, you can basically take the graph and you can say, wherever there's 5G, there's a lot more heat signatures contributing to global warming. Well, not really, because you've got denser populations there, so therefore, we all have heaters and cars and all that other stuff, that's contributing to the greenhouse gases. And, you can basically take a data and have a correlation and pretend that it's causation, So obviously COVID is spreading in densely populated areas. And 5G is also being installed in those densely populated areas. So people are just taking a look and saying, these data seem to be similar, and therefore one must affect the other. Well, no, there's a third factor that affects both of them. And just touching back on what you were asking about, 5G and the radiation and stuff. Well, you can't... Look, I personally am of the opinion that if I don't need something, I should not have it. Right? And to the point where I'm a little bit extreme. So I don't have wireless headphones. I don't have... I don't keep my phone on me unless... on my body. Unless, I'm walking or moving around. If I'm driving, I'll take it out. I'll put it away from me. If I'm sitting down, I'll have it on the table. Every little bit that I can to keep some distance from me. But not everyone is like that. We all wear our smartwatches to sleep. And,
oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't wear... I don't wear a smartwatch, Punit. I don't understand that stupid thing.
I have a couple, but those were gifts to me. But, and look, I enjoy them, but I don't wear them all the time.
What are they? What are they supposed to do?
Well, they obviously have their functionalities. Like you can make calls, see your heart rate. If you've got one of those Apple Watches, you can see your blood oxygen level. So it has some health benefits, like in the sense that if you have a serious condition, it might monitor and be helpful.
Are they waterproof?
Yeah, most are.
Wow.
For a bit, you should be. But I mean, the regular watches that are waterproof, I never wear a watch if I'm swimming, so I don't really care if my smartwatch is waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
And it same goes for my iPhone. It's not like I'm gonna go into the pool with a phone in my pocket. Like, why would I need it then? What purpose do I have like take it with me into the ocean, for example, or whatever else, like swimming. There's no reason I need it.
Exactly.
But people, like tech companies, basically, they're like, well, what's a selling point that we can give people?
Well, see, with the iPhone, they updated it with exposure notifications for the coronavirus. But you have to have your phone location turned on. And I was like, fuck that. Like, the New South Wales government brought out their coronavirus app, and they wanted your location on.
Yeah.
But it's like, we have to check in with all this QR code shit. They know where I am, and it's like, well, what more do you want to know? It's pissing me off, Punit.
See, that's the thing. I have seen lots of people that are complaining. And look, I've said to you, and I've said to people in the past about privacy. I'm an advocate for privacy, anonymity, security, and I always will be. But there comes a point in time when something is required where anonymity is less important. For example, something like COVID. If you don't have those contact tracing, then an outbreak could, we would never know. We would never be able to contain it. And, I mean, currently things do seem quite out of hand, and there's the contact tracing app is to blame for that, because it's not as efficient as it should have been.
No.
But it is helping to reduce. It's like, it's not an effective solution, but it is helping to hold back the tide as much as possible. So it's about that. And look, we all want facilities. So sometimes, we say, oh, YouTube is tracking me, or Google is tracking me, and they're feeding me things. And obviously it has its vices. But you kind of have to look at the perks. You get, so when you're looking for something, they will give you something that you will be looking, that you're actually looking for.
See, I hate algorithm platforms. I can't stand them. I really can't.
No, I will agree with you on that. Like, look, sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you just want to say, okay, give me a bad result. But if you think back on early 2000s, right, when we were using the internet, and I mean, it was there, but not in every house, not in every place, and Google was there, and Google was good, but early days of search engines and stuff, it wasn't as efficient. So being able to use Google effectively was in itself a skill. Right? Now, lots of people can Google things. We can all find out things quite effectively. And that's because of those algorithms.
Well, I've found with my experience with Google is I'll type something in, but I can't find what I'm looking for. When I go on DuckDuckGo, I find what I'm looking for, and I was like, wow. I didn't have to work.
There's a reason for that. So how does DuckDuckGo work? Or actually, how does any search engine work? They have something called indexing.
Yeah.
What that basically means is that they have a massive database of all the information that they have collected, and then they have sorted that in a specific way so that it's quickly accessible. Then what they're also doing is then they're using these algorithms to identify who you are and and give to you what they think you're looking for.
Oh, I hate that.
Right. Now, when you use DuckDuckGo, DuckDuckGo doesn't have its own indexing platform.
That's the beauty about it.
Yes. So what they do is they use Bing's. So that's Microsoft Bing's indexing. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So the only good thing about DuckDuckGo is what they're saying is we're not going to store your IP address.
Yeah.
So they don't specifically know who you are. But, to say DuckDuckGo is absolutely anonymous, well, that's not true either.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because they don't use their indexing. And also, they save your search history.
Yeah.
They don't delete that. Right? But they say that we don't collect any personal information, so we don't know who you are. We can never identify you.
Yeah.
That's not true. Because if you search for your address, or if you search for your name, or your podcast, or, your YouTube channel, or your website, they know who you are.
Even in an incognito window?
Yeah. Because they're saving your search history, what you send out to them.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you want someone who's not going to do any of that, then there's the Brave Search, which is an option that's come out.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own indexing platform, and then they have their own search engine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still in beta. It's not as efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which means that your data does not go to Google. It doesn't go to Bing. DuckDuckGo is trying to do something good, but they don't have the funding or the capacity, or even I don't think it's their policy.
What about Tor?
The indexing.
There's also Tor browser.
Tor browser is good, but Tor browser doesn't help you because you need to know. Well, first of all, it's darknet. When you go on Tor, you're only going on darknet websites.
Yeah.
So you may not find every website has a darknet, mirror.
Yeah.
So Facebook is on the dark web, for example. I think Google is also there. DuckDuckGo is there, and a whole bunch of others are there. But first of all, have you ever used Tor?
No.
No. Well, basically, the principle on which it works is that no website name is the same. So, for example, I know Facebook is Facebook something .onion, or Google is, I think, Google something .onion. But most other websites, for example, Shields Production, could be, 1x59, some random alphanumeric string, and that would be your website address if you were to put it on the dark web. I don't think websites automatically I don't think they automatically register on the dark web. I think that you still must put your website on there. And because of the way Tor is designed for anonymity and security and stuff. Now keep in mind that just because it's very secure doesn't mean it's untraceable or unhackable. It just means it's less likely for someone to put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
But, so let's say that you're very secure on there and you're going through it. And you end up at Facebook. Well, once you log in, Facebook knows who you are. They just don't know where you are.
Mm.
Right? Or if you're on Google, sure, Google doesn't know who you are. So therefore, their recommendations are completely random.
Mm.
But that doesn't help you because you wanted to look for something specific. If you are going on Google to use their services are absolutely fantastic.
Well,
from a service point of view, right?
So
you can't say that I don't want the fantastic service. Well, then don't use it. But if you're still going to use it, then might as well use their good service rather than the bad service.
Well, I'm a DuckDuckGo user because now they're adding this email blocking thing.
Well, so am I. But see, I have my doubts about them.
Hang on, I'll tell you I'll tell the audience what it is. What were you going to say? What's your doubts from an IT perspective?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I'm giving out my email address to them,
yeah,
and they're getting in all of my email data all the time.
It's called email protection, and I'm on the waiting list.
Yes, so am I. I'm testing it out, but I'm not going to use it for my primary email.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, I'm going to get emails from my bank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get emails from a whole bunch of places. Now, I know that you can systematically avoid which ones you want.
Well, if you're getting emails from your bank, that's a scam. I don't answer them.
No, emails from your bank are fine. I mean, you have to be very careful about
the
email address.
I don't.
But,
I will not open it because there's scammers who are impersonating your bank. You know.
no, but if you look at the domain name. If you
Yeah.
look at the domain name, and if it's your bank's domain name, then you can be, 99% sure that it's your bank.
Yeah. Nah. I'm old fashioned. I go in person.
No, of course. I'm not saying click on links or anything. But I get emails from my bank. I get other information like where my website is stored, or where databases are stored, or whatever else. Whatever other service I'm consuming on the internet, where I'm making a payment, for example, like eBay or Amazon. I'm getting emails from them. Now they have, my credit card information and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And if I truly wanted my email service to not, be filtered, I would rather, I would rather set up my own little server to do exactly what DuckDuckGo is doing.
Well, do it.
Well, I'm thinking about it, but first I actually want to see what DuckDuckGo is offering, and if it's going to be open source code, then I will have a little bit more confidence.
Well, I'm happy with DuckDuckGo.
No, I'm certainly... Look, I don't have any problems with them. I am a long-time DuckDuckGo user.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that their practices are bad or anything. It's just, even if it is a charity, there's only so much you can trust someone you don't know. And for a few things, I have my own, like for a VPN, for example, I have my own VPN server that I've just coded up. And,
nice.
I'm actually in the middle of creating a little script that will enable anyone to set up their own VPN server in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And where they don't have to do any programming or anything like that. Just, copy paste a bunch of commands, and then they can, pay as little as, I think, $5 or $10 a month,
mm-hmm.
and have a VPN server for themselves. And, it could be hosted anywhere around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's your own data. So even with these, big VPN provider services,
mm-hmm.
And all the great things that they do, I don't know. Like, if I truly want to keep my data encrypted and anonymous, then I know that I will never share my data with a third party. Whereas I can't be sure if a third party company will or will not. Now let's pretend for a second that I will, let's say I have a company and I'm a big company like NordVPN, for example. And obviously I'm honest and I'm not going to share your data. But what happens if I get hacked? Right. Then all the data is being accessed by someone else. I'm not talking about the government interfering or asking for data, which they sometimes might, if they want to build a case against you. But let's just pretend that I get hacked by a group of hackers. Well, I will be company and therefore a challenge. But if I'm just myself, some person, a face in the crowd, why would they spend so much time trying to hack my VPN server, my personal VPN server, only to find I'm just googling some stuff, how to code some stuff, right? It's like,
exactly.
What is the value? What is the value in trying to hack an individual? Right? You want to hack a bank, you don't want to hack an individual person unless you know there's something to gain.
Well, I wanted to ask you something about email. Now, I'd like to know if I can use a personal email address that doesn't have advertising, like Hotmail or Gmail.
What do you mean? Sorry, so I didn't quite get what you said.
Okay, you know how you have a business email, which I got, that filters out ads, you don't get ads, spam, it filters out. Can you do that for a personal email? I'm sure that... Okay.
Well, yeah, of course, and that's what I was talking about. So, what DuckDuckGo is providing in there, as I understand it, I haven't done quite in-depth research into it, but as I understand it, DuckDuckGo, what they're doing is they're going to remove all trackers. So emails also have trackers.
Yeah.
To know if you opened them, if you didn't open them, if you directly deleted them, if you put them in spam, if you did open them, how long were you reading it? What is the, what sections did you really look at or pay attention to? All of that. just like any website or any mobile app or whatever it is, right?
Mm.
So what DuckDuckGo is going to do is they're going to remove all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to send you the email. But what that means is that they will, first of all, they'll get access to your entire email. They'll remove that information. And then you have to trust them to not make a copy of it for themselves.
Mm.
And send it to you, right? So you have to trust them to not make a copy for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Which, and again, DuckDuckGo is a big company, a recognized brand. And so if someone's going to attack them, they'll attack them. But anyway, I don't know, but DuckDuckGo might also remove the advertisement.
Yeah.
Right. But if they don't, there's certainly the way. So I'm thinking of doing my script, and when I do finish with that, I'm probably thinking of making it open source, just available with a bunch of instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Go get a server of your own. You know, you get the email addresses, and whatever email you get, that script will remove all the advertisements and everything else.
Yeah,
and just pass it along. And by doing that, what you end up with is what's the word I'm looking for? It is a service that is your own.
Mm-hmm.
No one else has access to it, and you trust yourself not to sell your own data. So, but yeah, I don't know. But definitely, there's a way to filter out the ads and everything else. Actually, a very cheap and inexpensive way of doing that is if you get yourself a network filter.
Mm-hmm.
With something called Pi-hole,
mm-hmm.
which is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. If you get a Raspberry Pi for yourself and you hook it up to your network and you install the Raspberry Pi-hole software on it,
mm-hmm.
you can filter out lots of ads and tracking and everything else. If I open up my network, I'm looking at just today, for example. In the last 24 hours, it has blocked. I don't know how many. Oh, here we go. In the last 24 hours, it has blocked around. Oh, here we go. 30,138.
Nice.
Total percentage that it has blocked is 57.1.
That's
so if you go on a website that shouldn't have access to stuff, then it will just block it.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's on my network, I don't get advertisements on my phone ads. Apps. Phone apps. I don't get any ads like if I'm playing a game or anything else. If I'm on YouTube.com, mind you, not YouTube the website, but YouTube.com. YouTube the app, but
mm-hmm.
YouTube.com. I don't get ads on that.
Mm-hmm.
It works better from experience with iPhones than it does with the Android, because I think Android has a lot more ways ads come through.
Yeah.
And it works better with an iPhone when it comes to even tracking blocks. But
mm-hmm.
it's still a massive data filter on your network, and you can program it a little bit better to do a better job for you. I often update it and I tweak with it all the time.
Exactly.
I think I was telling you the other day that I cut myself from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
A little while back when I was tweaking it.
Nice.
And I had to do that. But yeah, while I'm talking to you, I'm just looking at it, and I guess someone else in my house is using the internet, and I can just see queries being blocked. So now it's like 30,153.
Nice.
So
yeah,
it just keeps going up.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and that's enables me to I have effectively disabled Facebook quite significantly, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and a whole bunch of other stuff from having access on my network.
Wow. But, look, Punit, it was a fantastic show today. It's nearly 2 o'clock, so I'll wrap it up now.
That was good, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Great talking to you.
Yeah, you too, man. And, awesome to hear what you'll be working on next.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know if I actually do end up finishing that, email protection thing. Yeah. And if I finish it, then I'll send you a link, and you can put it on your podcast if other people also are interested in, disabling ads and trackers and other stuff.
Yeah, will do, man.